There are moments when nothing around you is, you could say, falling apart, but inside everything feels heavier. Your mind starts turning on you. It brings up old mistakes, old trauma, old versions of you that you thought you moved past. And suddenly the thought of quitting doesn't sound dramatic, it sounds peaceful. That's the scary part. People think quitting only happens when things get hard on the outside, but for a lot of us, it happens quietly. It happens in your head at night when you're alone, when you're tired of being strong, when your mind tells you you've already tried enough, nothing's changing, other people have it easier than you. And when you hear that voice long enough, you start to believe it. I want to be honest, there have been times where I didn't want to push forward anymore, not because I was physically weak, but because I was exhausted from dealing with my own thoughts like every single day. That's something nobody prepares for you, how draining it is to carry that invisible weight you have. One of the biggest lies your mind tells you when you want to quit is this. If I stop, everything will finally feel quiet. But quitting doesn't just bring peace, it just pauses the pain and lets regret take its place. When your mind tells you to quit, it's usually not asking for failure, it's asking for rest, it's asking for relief, it's asking for someone to understand how tired you are. And that changed the way I looked at those thoughts. Instead of asking why do I feel like quitting, I started asking what am I like overwhelmed by right now? Because quitting thoughts are symptoms, not solutions. Another thing that helped me was realizing this motivation is unreliable. If you wait until you feel ready, you'll wait forever. Some days you're not gonna feel inspired. Some days you're not gonna feel confident. Some days you're going to feel behind in life. But discipline doesn't mean forcing yourself to be perfect. It means showing up even when you don't believe in yourself. When I feel like quitting, you could say I shrink my world. I don't think about fixing my entire life. I don't think about the pressure of becoming who I want to be. I focus on the next 5 minutes. Can I survive the next 5 minutes? Can I take one step? Can I take one step instead of 10? But consistency isn't built on motivation. It's built on small choices repeated on bad days. Your mind will always try to protect you from pain, even if it's holding you back. It would rather keep you comfortable than see you grow. That's why growth feels uncomfortable. That's why progress feels alone, feels lonely. That's why staying the same feels tempting. And when you feel like quitting, remember this. You're not weak for feeling tired. You're weak if you let temporary feeling make a permanent decision. That's where moments where I thought if I stop now, nobody will notice. But the truth is, you will notice. You'll feel it in the moments you wonder what could have happened if you didn't quit. And that feeling lasts longer than, the pain you could say of pushing through. Another thing people don't talk about, healing isn't linear. You can't be doing better and still have bad days. You can't be improving and still feel empty sometimes. That doesn't mean you're failing, it means you're human. When your mind tells you to quit, talk back to it, not with confidence, but with honesty. Say, I don't need to have it all figured out. I don't need to win today. I just need to not give up. And if today, all you can do is exist, that's still enough. If you're watching this and you feel like your mind is your enemy, I want you to hear this. Your thoughts are loud, but they are not facts. Just because you think you're done doesn't mean you are. You've already survived days you thought you would break up. You've survived days that you thought would break you. You've proven you can keep going without realizing it. And maybe right now, keep going doesn't look like progress. Maybe it just looks like staying, and that's okay. Because one day, your mind is quieter and your heart feels lighter. You'll realize something important. The version of you that almost quit is the reason the future version of you exists. So if your mind is telling you to quit tonight, do not listen to it. Listen to the part of you that's still here, still breathing, still trying. that part of you hasn't given up. That part of you has not given up yet, and neither should you. In this video, I'm going to go through like 2 topics, so this one's kind of like coping with days when nothing's really feel like it's going your way. Some days, like it'll feel off from the moment you wake up, not in a dramatic way, just everything feels wrong. You wake up tired, even though you slept. Your phone already stresses you out. Little things start stacking up, and before you know it, it feels like the whole day is against you. And the worst part, nothing huge even has to, like nothing big even has to happen for it to feel that way. You ever have those days where you're like, why does everything feel so heavy, but you can't even explain it? Those are like the days I want to talk about, because nobody really prepares you for those days. People talk about heartbreak, big failures, hitting rock bottom, but nobody really talks about the random Tuesday where nothing goes right and you don't know why. You drop something, you mess up a simple task, you say the wrong thing, you feel behind for no reason, and suddenly your mind starts telling you, see, you can't do anything right. The voice is loud on days like this. For me, those days mess with my head more than the big ones, because when something big happens, at least you know why you're hurting. But on these days, it feels like you're fighting an invisible enemy, something in your head. And then your brain just starts spiraling. You start replaying mistakes, comparing yourself to everyone else. You start thinking about how far you should be by now. And that's when it really hits. Not only is the day bad, now you feel bad about yourself. Here's something I learned, though. Days like this don't mean you're failing. They mean that you're human. We weren't built to feel motivated, confident, and locked in every single day. Life isn't like a highlight reel. It's a lot messy, quiet, frustrating moments in between. And on days when nothing goes right, the goal isn't to fix everything. That's where people mess up. They tell you, be positive, shake it off. You can say grind harder. But when your mind is already tired, that advice feels impossible. So instead, I try focusing on going through the day and not trying to win the day, if that makes sense. Some days aren't about progress, they're about endurance. If all you did today was get out of bed, that counts. If all you did was exist without giving up, that counts. You don't have to turn a bad day into a productive one. You just have to not let it convince you that you're worthless. One thing that helps me is slowing everything down, not physically, but mentally. When everything feels like it's going wrong, your brain speeds up, it jumps to conclusions. It turns one mistake into a story about your entire life. So I pause and just ask myself, is this a bad day? Or am I just overwhelmed? Most of the time, I'm just overwhelmed. Another thing I remind myself is this: a bad day is not a bad life. A bad moment is not a bad future. It feels kind of permanent in the moment, but it's really not. Think about how many days you've already survived that you thought that would break you. Days you don't even think about anymore. You made it through those without realizing how strong you were. And on these days, it's okay to lower the bar. Drink water, take a shower, step outside, breathe. Not everything needs a deep solution. Sometimes your mind is just tired of carrying everything alone. And if you're watching this right now, on one of those days, I want you to hear this clearly. It's gonna be okay. You're just having a hard day. And hard days do not define you. They don't erase your growth. They don't cancel your progress. They don't mean you're failing at life. They're just part of it. Even the strongest people you look up to have days where nothing really goes right. They just don't post these days. So if today feels like a mess, let it be a mess. You don't have to clean it up all right now. Get through the hour, then the next one, that's enough. And tomorrow might not be perfect either, but it's a new chance, a reset. If nobody told you this today, I'm proud of you for still being here, for still trying, for not giving up even when your mind tells you, even though your mind tells you to. Some days are about building, some days are about healing, and some days are just about surviving. and that's okay.